Good evening, viewers. You're tuned in to ICRT, keeping you informed.
ICRT!
A senior Pentagon official is suggesting that the Trump administration could redefine defence deals with Taiwan. According to John No, who currently serves as the Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defence for East Asia, he strongly believes that Taiwan needs to do its part and to pay, while also increasing its defence spending. The statement came during a Senate Armed Services Committee hearing, at which No faced some lawmakers who voiced concerns about the provisions of arms to Taiwan. Committee Chairman, Senator Roger Wicker, said that he's concerned that the Department of Defence may be using the Ukraine playbook with Taiwan by taking defence items procured with Presidential Drawdown Authority and returning it to the defence stockpile. Something Wicker said would be contrary to congressional intent and would require Taiwan to purchase the items that had already been authorised as Presidential Drawdown Authority. No responded to that, saying it was President Donald Trump who said that Taiwan should spend upwards 10% of its GDP on defence, and he strongly supports that. No is tapped to take the post of Assistant Secretary of Defence for Indo-Pacific Security Affairs.
Defense. Provisions. Procured. Stockpile. Authority. Spending. Hearing.
President Lai Ching-te says that Taiwan is willing to work with the United States to help it re-industrialise and become a global centre for artificial intelligence to ensure its continued global leadership and to make America great again. Speaking in an interview on the American radio programme The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, Lai said that his government supports Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing's investments in America and believes that TSMC will play a key role in the US's future reindustrialisation and its emergence as a global centre for artificial intelligence. According to Lai, TSMC and Taiwan's semiconductor industry are only part of the ecosystem, as it also includes the United States, which provides innovation, R&D and design, and is also the world's largest market. Japan provides materials and equipment, while South Korea provides fast memory, and the Netherlands has significant semiconductor manufacturing equipment. Lai also talked about cross-strait relations, national defence and Taiwan's social welfare policies during the interview.
Reindustrialize. Global Center for Artificial Intelligence. TSMC investment. Semiconductor ecosystem. R&D and design. Cross-strait relations. Social welfare policies.
The Taiwan People's Party says it plans to return the central government's general budget proposal to the cabinet for further review. The move comes after party deputy caucus whip Jung Che-kai accused Premier Jaw Rong-tai of malfeasance and of crossing a red line by refusing to allocate funds to raise salaries for military personnel and increase pensions for police and firefighters. According to the TPP, the Premier's decision not to include measures in the budget that had already been passed by the Legislative Yuan and promulgated by the President clearly constitutes malfeasance and irregularities. The Premier has threatened, though, to apply for a constitutional interpretation to changes made to the budget by opposition lawmakers, claiming that the measures passed for expanding the original budget were illegal. The KMT's Legislative Caucus is also voicing its dissatisfaction with the Cabinet for not budgeting funds for pay rises, pensions and local government subsidies, and says it will either back the TPP or file its own motion for a reconsideration.
General Budget Proposal. Cabinet. Malfeasance. Legislative Yuan. Constitutional interpretation. Pay raises. Pensions.
Meta has announced it will invest in a new undersea cable connecting Taiwan and the Asia-Pacific region. It's called Candle, and it's set for completion in 2028. It will be the largest capacity cable in the Asia-Pacific, boosting data transmission and digital resilience to support future internet and AI needs. Meta says Candle will link Taiwan, Japan, the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore, covering over 580 million people with a total length of 8,000 kilometers. Candle joins Meta's other regional cables, which together form a communication bridge across Asia and the Pacific to the Americas. Meta, the parent company of Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Threads, says the projects will strengthen the region's digital backbone and improve access to its services and AI applications. According to Meta, the Asia-Pacific is home to 58% of global internet users.
Undersea cable. AZ Pacific region. Largest capacity cable. Data transmission. Digital resilience. Digital backbone. AI applications.
The Ministry of Health says the vendor who sold 4,000 kilograms of tainted pork intestines is facing a fine of at least 50 million NT. The announcement comes as the Food and Drug Administration is still trying to track down all of the sold tainted pork intestine. The Pingdong-based vendor, Byway Foods, sold all of the products to intermediary buyers in Taipei, Taoyuan, Kaohsiung and Pingdong. Prosecutors have said the company's employees soaked the spoiled pork intestines in industrial-grade hydrogen peroxide to disguise them as fresh in an attempt to make illegal profits. The FDA has identified some 3,700 kilograms of the tainted intestines. However, some 800 kilograms remain unaccounted for.
Vendor. Tainted. Intestines. Fine. Prosecutors. Industrial grade. Disguised.
The Ministry of Agriculture plans to expand Taiwan's list of animals banned from private ownership. It plans to add raccoons, saltwater crocodiles, and 2 families of venomous snakes, vipers and elapids, which include cobras. Officials say these animals pose serious safety risks. MOA officials say that vipers and cobras can cause systemic poisoning or severe injuries, while raccoons often become aggressive and uncontrollable as they mature, leading some owners to abandon them, creating costly management problems. As for saltwater crocodiles, officials say adults can grow up to 5 meters long and weigh more than 200 kilograms, making them far too dangerous for home care. The Agriculture Ministry says that once the new rule takes effect, the total number of banned species will rise to 647. Existing owners will have to register their animals and are banned from breeding them.
Raccoons. Saltwater crocodiles. Venomous snakes. Viperidae. Elapidae. Systemic poisoning. Management problems.
A man recorded kicking an elderly lady on the Taipei MRT has issued a public apology. What became known as the Taipei Metro flying kick incident went viral last week and showed an altercation over priority seating. The man can be seen kicking the elderly lady, causing her to fall into a seat behind her while other passengers watched. The man was later identified as a recent graduate of the National Taiwan University, and yesterday he took to social media to say that he had gone to the police station to make his statement. He also apologised for causing controversy. The elderly woman was wanted for shoplifting and later detained by police.
Flying kick incident. Priority seating. Viral. Public apology. Police statement. Shoplifting. Recent graduate.
About 900 hikers, guides, and staff stranded by a snowstorm on Mount Everest's Chinese side have reached safety. The severe storm hit Saturday night, trapping them at over 4,900 meters in elevation. By Monday afternoon, 350 hikers had descended, and the rest arrived by Tuesday. State media reports that some hikers had hypothermia, and a dozen were helped with food, medicine, and oxygen on the descent. The scenic area at Mount Everest is temporarily closed. In neighboring Nepal, a South Korean climber died in a storm near Mera Peak, a Himalayan mountain south of Everest.
Hikers. Guides. Stranded. Snowstorm. Elevation. Hypothermia. Oxygen.
This year's National Day projection show will be taking place under the theme of Stay Tuned Taiwan to mark the 60th anniversary of the Golden Bell Awards. The light show includes more than 80 audiovisual works highlighting 62 Taiwan TV dramas and 25 variety shows across 6 decades of broadcasting. The event will feature voice performances by Chen Yalan, the first woman to win a Golden Bell Best Actor Award, and Jennifer Shen, who holds the record for the most Golden Bell Awards. The free program will be taking place from today through Friday on Katagalan Boulevard in front of the Presidential Building. This evening's opening show will begin at 7:30 p.m. with a lighting ceremony, and traffic restrictions will be in place in the area. And the nightly performances will then run from 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. over the coming 3 evenings, each show lasting about 10 minutes.
National Day. Projection show. Audiovisual works. Variety shows. Voice performances. Lighting ceremony. Traffic restrictions.
Mary E. Brunkow, Fred Ramsdell, and Dr. Shimon Sakaguchi have won the Nobel Prize in Medicine for discoveries about how the body ensures that immune cells attack intruders, but not our own tissues. Their findings advance the search for autoimmune disease treatments, as well as work in cancer and organ transplants. The Nobel Assembly announced the award on Monday. Sakaguchi first discovered regulatory T cells in 1995. In 2001, Brunkow and Ramsdell identified a gene mutation involved in autoimmune diseases, and Sakaguchi later connected these findings to explain a previously unknown way that the body keeps the immune system in check. The trio will share the nearly $1.2 million in prize money.
Immune cells. Intruders. Autoimmune disease. Organ transplants. Regulatory T cells. Gene mutation. Immune system.
And while trade negotiations with the US are ongoing, Premier Zhou Rongtai also said today that the planned 10,000 NT cash handouts could be distributed by the end of November, provided lawmakers approve the special budget by mid-October. Zhou explained that under the law, the cabinet must issue the payments within 1 month after the budget clears its third reading in the Legislative Yuan and is signed into law by the president. He emphasized that preparatory work is already in place, following the same system used for last year's cash distribution. The Ministry of Finance has been instructed to move quickly once the budget is passed. Zhou added that while the government aims for speed, security and safeguards will also be priority in the rollout.
Cash handouts. Special budget. Legislative Yuan. Third reading. Preparatory work. Rollout. Safeguards.
The Jane Goodall Institute Taiwan has paid tribute to its founder and namesake who passed away at the age of 91. The organization said since her first visit in 1996, Jane Goodall's work here fully reflected her lifetime goal of wildlife conservation. Goodall founded the Taiwan chapter to promote environmental education in schools and advance marine conservation and to foster international dialogue. The Institute said her Roots and Shoots campaign in Taiwan has continued to inspire young people since 1998. That's to care for people, animals, and the environment, and to take meaningful action to make a difference at over 1,000 schools. In 2014, the Institute began a long-term collaboration with Changzhou Christian University establishing the International College of Environmental Education and the International Program for Sustainable Development. It also established an elementary school in Taipei City in 2020. It's the first experimental school in the world to implement the concept of roots and shoots.
Wildlife conservation, environmental education, marine conservation, roots and shoots, international dialogue, sustainable development, experimental school.
Looking for the hottest music and exciting updates? Follow ICRT on YouTube and all social media!